So, I was just watching the online clips of Real Time with Bill Maher. They don't have full episodes available, at least not on the HBO website. There might be some on Hulu or something like that, but on the HBO website they just have clips. And they have one segment which is a web exclusive. It's called Overtime, where they answer questions that people submit online. And one of the guests was Chris Matthews, who I actually kind of like. And I don't remember all the guests. And in fact, really, there's only two guests that I remember, and that's because I already knew who they were. The other ones, I may have seen some of them before, but I don't know their names. The other, so it was Chris Matthews, of course, Bill Maher, and the other one was Barney Frank. Who is a congressman, senator, I'm not sure. To be quite honest, I'm not sure. But anyway, all I really know about Barney Frank is that he's openly gay. I'm not sure, but he's one of those. It doesn't matter. That's beside the point. The point is, they started talking about religion, and oh, I remember one of the guys. He's the first, possibly only, I'm not sure, openly Muslim member of either the Senate or the House. I'm not sure. So they were talking about religion, and Chris Matthews, who I usually like. But every once in a while he says some stupid shit, and this was something really stupid that he said. He said Hitler was an atheist. And he said it matter-of-factly. Like when somebody started talking about Hitler, he said, oh, but Hitler was an atheist. Or something along those lines. And when Bill Maher and Barney Frank corrected him, he argued with them. Which is just extremely frustrating to me. Okay, for the last time, Hitler's slogan, or at least the Nazis' slogan that they wore on their belts, was Gott mit uns, which is God with us. Secondly, in Mein Kampf and in several speeches, Hitler makes reference to the divine creator and, you know, all these references to some kind of God. He was a standing member of the Catholic Church up until his death. He has made reference to Jesus being I don't know if he makes reference to Jesus being divine, but he does make references to Jesus' teachings and them being like good teachings and stuff like that. The facts of the matter are that, I mean, really, we can't know what was in his head. I mean, you know, all of that could have been propaganda, and, you know, that's quite likely, you know, because it was a Christian populace who he was, you know, that was his target, his target demographic, and, you know, he could have simply been appealing to them. But the facts, so, you know, we can't know what's in his head, but the evidence points to him believing in some kind of divine creator. Which clearly makes him not an atheist. And I mean, it doesn't matter to me whether he was an atheist or not. If the facts showed that he was indeed an atheist, much like Stalin was, which I have no problem admitting, then that would be fine. But the evidence does not show that. The evidence shows that he was a believer of some kind and that he was in good standing with the Catholic Church up until his death. It just... And the only reason people make this claim, I mean, there's no evidence at all that Hitler was an atheist. It's just people just assume that, you know, oh, the most detestable man in the world, he must have been an atheist in order to do all these hideous things. That's how people feel about atheists. It's like you have to have some belief in a higher power, otherwise you turn into some depraved lunatic. And like I said, I really like Chris Matthews, and if I was on that panel, which is ridiculous, but if I was, I would have gone batshit crazy yelling at him. Because it's just something that, because it's like, I think, I'm not positive about this, but I think Chris Matthews is a Catholic himself. And, you know, if I were to just, now I don't claim that Hitler was a Catholic. I don't know if he was a Catholic or not. I just know that he was in good standing with the church. But if I were to claim matter-of-factly that Hitler was a Catholic, you know, pointing to the fact that he was in good standing with the Catholic Church as evidence, he would feel dehumanized because of that. And he would feel as if I was dehumanizing all of Catholicism. And probably rightly so. You know, I understand that. But the point is that he's taking that and he's throwing it at atheists. He could say, you know, we don't know what Hitler's religion was. I mean, you know, it's arguable that, you know, you could say that Hitler was a secularist, which is probably pretty accurate, you know, because I don't think he really had any particular, well, except he had a problem with Jews, although his problem with Jews was that he believed that they were genetically inferior, not that their beliefs were wrong. So you know, I still think that kind of, you know, there's sort of a secular mindset there, but I know that's arguable. I'm not really going to get into that, but actually, in fact, there were earlier teachings of Hitler where he actually sympathized with the Jews and considered them an oppressed minority, and he thought that they were, which is really weird because you wouldn't think of Hitler as being the compassionate type, but he sympathized with Jews until he realized that Jewishness was not just a religion but a race also, which, okay, anyway. And then, you know, he said, well, in that case, Jews are obviously inferior. But anyway, so that was just something on my mind. It was just, like, really bugging the fucking crap out of me. And, yeah, and it's like, I feel like, you know, the only reason people do that, they make that, you know, Hitler was an atheist claim, is to dehumanize atheists. You know, because Hitler was like he's basically the most despised person in recent history. And, you know, to claim that he was an atheist is kind of, well, first of all, it's non-factual, and that's what really gets to me, because, you know, it's not, you know, there's no facts to back it up. There's more facts to back up that he was some sort of strange pagan than there is to believe that he was an atheist. But, yeah, it was just really bugging me, and I think people just do it just to dehumanize atheists. And you know, if it were factual, I wouldn't care. It might still piss me off a little bit, you know, if people, like, you know, would, you know, throw it out all the time as an insult. You know, especially since there's no way to defend it if it were factual. But the fact that it's not factual just frustrates the hell out of me. And it's like, people hear it over and over again. They've heard the explanations, Gott mit uns, the references to a divine creator in not only Mein Kampf but also in several of his speeches. the good standing with the Catholic Church until his death. All of that stuff. People hear it and hear it and hear it, and they just stick their fingers in their ears and they go, la 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 la, he was an atheist, he was an atheist, la 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 la. And it just pisses the hell out of me. So, yeah. Anyway, I just wanted to get that off my chest. So, I'll see you guys later. Adios.